Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another day in Factorio 0.16.x here in Just the Basics, and the engines are done. So, let's see. From there, we go to here, and we make ourselves a car, which is relatively cheap, at least for now. There's a bunch of different fuels we can give it, including some old boxes and other stuff that we could probably do with getting rid of, actually. So, might as well. And we can also give it munition, which is probably the biggest thing that we're going to be concerned about for this particular day. As we see, right up there, we already have trouble. I don't know that I necessarily want to be carrying all of the stuff I'm presently carrying, but, oh well, here we go. I also don't know what the fuel efficiency is like on these. Looks like that's just already taking down. Okay. I probably want to craft a few turrets before we head out. Just as backup more than anything else, really. So let's grab some iron. Let's grab some gears. Let's make 5 turrets. And I'll grab some bullets, I guess, as well, for them. Because they'll need bullets. They're a handy distraction, but they probably want bullets. I mean, I could relate. If I were a turret, I would want bullets as well. Okay. So, we know that there is something, presumably in this area, that is replicating the aliens. Or I guess they're the natives and we're the aliens, but suffice to say, pedantry aside, it's making something, and we're annoying it considerably. So, here's where we try and find it, and hopefully do not just ram our brand new car into something that destroys it. Now, I would wager they're coming from up here, but I'm not seeing anything yet. We do discover something that will show up as red over here, so we've got that going for us. And no, I'm not seeing anything here. Interesting. Ah, there it is. We found it. Okay. So, yeah, this is where they're amassing. This is inside of our pollution. So it's 2 nests, or 2 spawners, and 4 worms, all of which are small. Now, I'm wearing better armor than I was the last time I tried to deal with these things and very nearly died. I don't actually know off the top of my head, however, if the car has, armor of any kind whatsoever, but I guess here's where we find out. If it does, it's not very much, is the answer. Oh! Ow! Ah ha 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 ha! Oh, that's why I brought repair packs, although admittedly probably not as many as I should have. Oof. Ow. Well, the advantage for me is... Oh, big. Oh, not good. And it's gone already. And so am I, if I'm not careful. Yep. I did mention running into a rock, didn't I? And we didn't even get rid of one. We barely got rid of one of them. Oof. Worms are the worst because their projectiles track. Their projectiles are homing. But okay. Right. Grab ourselves a bunch of materials. And we'll show exactly why I wanted to craft a few turrets before I went out and did that. And let's also give me another machine gun while I'm at it here. On the bright side, now I have basically nothing to lose. What's the worst they can do to me now? I'm just gonna speed up this a little bit. So that works a little faster, so this can work a little faster. And... gun, thank you. Please and thank you, anytime soon. Okay, you want steel, you want gears, and you want a bunch of pipes. If I end up with a spare engine, then so be it. Right. So, turrets. We already have a couple of them up here defending our coal. And turrets, generally speaking, their power's in their numbers. The aliens can only attack one thing at a time, whereas the turrets, of course, can multitask. And I think by writ, they do more damage than you do. But, let me just stick some gun in there. So, shooting speed 10 plus 1. Shooting speed of these, 10 plus 1. Damage, 8 plus 168 physical. Damage, 8 plus 0.8 physical. So they do more damage. And they have a pretty decent range. And quite a bit of health, which I think is actually only a little bit less than our car was there. Rip car, I guess. And I'm just gonna grab a few more bullets. Might as well also just pick these guys up entirely, but for right now we're good. So, we're gonna take these turrets, and we're going to perform a strategy known to many as turret creep. And that basically means we place a number of turrets in a row, they kill everything in their vicinity, and whilst they're killing things in their vicinity, we inch them forwards, so that we have another line. We're nearly done over here. And I have noticed we do actually need to beef up the copper, because the copper is actually falling way behind, now that our iron is remotely, effective, I guess would be the phrase here. Yeah, that one's dead, and then we only have 5 miners working to supply these, 20-odd, I think, stone furnaces right now. Okay, you done? You think you're done? You're not quite done, but you think you're done. How are we doing on production of these, by the way? 78 there, 325 there, 40 there. Seems decent. Really, these probably need blues, just to, like, get enough, just to get enough gears into them. Okay, 8. Car. And I guess I don't have any fuel now, because we lost all of it. Okay, right. Well, I don't have to worry too much about having a surplus of small electric poles on me now, I guess. Let's just stand here. Get ourselves a couple of stacks of coal. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna grab myself some heavy armor, because it's just occurred to me I might need that. I could also make a shotgun. Those are more commonly used in extreme close quarters, which we don't want to be. Especially not for this strategy. Let's give you that. I probably won't have to use... I probably won't have to use it, but I guess we'll find out. And different speeds, by the way, do affect how fast the car moves. So, right now we're just using bog standard coal. Before we were using small electric poles. We can eventually upgrade all the way to straight up literal nuclear fuel. Okay, we know where these guys are. And that where they are apparently is headed right for us. Oof, and they very nearly got me there. Again, I only have enough materials for one because I don't have any circuits. Well, let's hope it's enough. Okay. I want to start by getting rid of that spawner. There's my corpse right there. Okay. So we want to start there. I think. Just a little bit higher, maybe. But that does give me time to get over here and retrieve my body, which does have a time limit on, as you can see, but contains all of the gubbins that I had when I died. I don't know if you can have multiples, or I don't know if this is like Dark Souls where you get one chance. But we want to get to this as quick as we can, because it happens to have a bunch of good stuff for us. Including more gun. So let's plunk this one there. And that's still not quite in range, okay. But it will at least help out. Okay, that's one spawner gone. That's progress. Oh, I did make sure to repair that just before we picked it back up. Where's my Dakar? Where's my Dakar? There's my Dakar. And they're not interested in me. So I can quite happily just piece them away. As long as they are interested in one target, they're not interested in any others. I'm just gonna put one over here near my car for a bit of safety. Just in case, so I have somewhere to fall back to. Somewhere to keep them busy. Okay, and yep, I have piercing rounds there. Don't need that, don't need that. Dip, 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 dip. Okay, it's getting a bit dark here, so let's try and make this quick. And I'm just gonna engineer, like TF2 engineer this, basically. Just to keep these alive and distracted whilst we're doing this. And boom goes the dynamite. We're done. Great, we can go. There's that problem solved. Now, that wasn't there when our radar originally swept through this area. Which might mean it expanded from other ones we can see, or it might mean that they came in from much further afield, or a spot that's been populated since that we just can't see either. But unfortunately, we won't know until we encounter it, more or less, until we spread out further. Wait, mind the rocks. Tanks don't care about rocks, but cars certainly do. I'm just gonna park you right there. With probably a lot more coal than I need. Ah. Okay. So, that's the car, and that's turret creep. And you can do turret creep pretty easily, pretty early on. Some people don't like it because it seems a bit cheap, which I can kind of understand. But I already tried to take it on with my own two hands, and boy did that turn out badly for me this episode. Maybe later on when I have power armor or something it'll be better, but not today. Not today. Was this... I did rewire this, but it doesn't seem to have caught up yet. So let's just get rid of that. But okay. I want to upgrade the steel down here, because that's clearly lagging behind. How many am I gonna need here? 20. I can make 14. Can you do 14? And the iron over here is very fine. The iron here does not have a single care in the world. So we might actually expand the number of smelteries we've got up here. Yeah, that's looking good. Anyway, let's start a new science. Let's go with automated rail transportation, which gives us train stops, which is integral to making sure that our trains know where to go when we have any. But nonetheless, still important to have. Okay, that's one of them. And another. This smelter, I like it. Another. Yeah, the copper is mostly having trouble keeping up, because now that we're actually able to provide enough iron to the green circuits, we're actually just burning through what little copper we have. So I'm gonna have to upgrade that. But I'll probably do that off camera. A little bit of zippy zippy. 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So we need a lot more copper, like, mining, and we need probably to actually upgrade, like, to make it equal the copper smelting over here. but for now it's good. Oh, and I actually have enough stone brick to make another one. I just didn't have the steel. Huh. Ironic, really. Upgrading the steel, and I didn't have the steel to upgrade the steel. So how are our productions looking here? We are producing 1.2 million iron plates. We are consuming about 1.3, 1.4 currently. Our iron ore is pretty stable. That should be a 1-to-1. That's the ideal. Our copper, on the other hand... Let's have a look at that. That's the one. So in the past, say, 10 minutes, we have generated 157 copper ore, which we have turned duly into plates. We are consuming, however, 202. So, yeah, that needs to go up. We need to make that go up. Okay, that should be fine for the right now. I should have enough to upgrade that, at least a little bit. Obviously not to this scale, because we don't even really have an ore patch with the actual, like, surface area to do that much, but we can at least expand this and update it as well, while we're at it. So it uses the new proper technologies. Is that the one? No, it isn't. Okay. Okay, automated rail transport. Let's put you next. Oh, I do like circuit networks. I do like circuit networks. But we're gonna want rail signals. Before we actually start trying to build any kind of rail network at all. And rail signals are a little bit of the... They're the fiddly parts of making a rail. You don't... If you don't understand how the signals work, your rail will frequently get jammed or crash into one another, all sorts. So we probably want to have those before we actually start building anything with it. Free. Slight misclick there. So that takes us from 5 to... 1, 2, 3, 5, 6... Yeah, 5 to 11. Which is still not going to be remotely enough. Let's see what would take enough. So if we're looking at copper... And we are using ourselves the stone furnace, of which we have 20. Then we should be having 10 of these. So actually, no, that should keep up with those. So that's something, at the very least, but it'll also only be producing about 340 items per minute, which is not a grand deal, to say the least. So yeah, we probably want to actually upgrade this and have actual steel furnaces and all sorts, just to make sure that it at least keeps up with what we've got going for the right now. But I just want to finish upgrading the steel, and it has occurred to me, I probably should put the, if we are assuming that our radar scanned that area and then it was colonized by something else further out, I probably should put those turrets back, shouldn't I? Oh well. But let's just finish this up, and then we'll call it for the episode. So, next time, let me see, what do I get up to next time? We could make a start on rails, but there's not really any point. All of the resources we need currently are right here. We might have to start making a move towards blue science, although I don't know that we necessarily have the recipe for it just yet. We have military science. We could start work on that. That will give us a significant edge in getting munitions as well, because as you can see, it requires piercing rounds and gun turrets, and also grenades, which I haven't really showed off yet. So, that'll be fun, I'm sure. And there are definitely more people that we're going to be bugging very soon. So, it's probably worth checking that out fairly soon, I think. But how is our steel production going now? Eating 85, generating 130 within the last minute. Grand. You see that's definitely gone up as we've added our steel furnaces to the mix. And this is what your graphs tend to look like eventually. It's just there's a lot of colors and you don't really know what's going on. But you know that there are numbers and you're making them go up. But you want these numbers to be equal to or higher than, ideally higher than, these numbers at all times. And if you're a particular sadist, then hey, here's every single thing that you make currently. And here's everything you ever have made, usually. Because most games don't go longer than 50 hours. Some can, but not a lot. Okay. Oil processing will be necessary for making blue science. But again, we don't have the capacity to make blue science right now. Something along here will presumably allow us blue science. There are solar panels, those are handy. But nope, I don't see anything that lets us actually make blue science just yet. So we're probably waiting on that a little bit. But oh well, oh well. I'm sure it'll come up eventually. For now, I'm gonna go with bullet damage, because that's probably necessary in the near future. And with that, I will catch you, as ever, next time. Bye!